Welcome back everyone to episode 5 of my sheltered reboot. Okay, today we're going to be getting Carl joining us in the shelter and we will be building the Makeshift Recycler. That's right, we'll get the Makeshift Recycler done and we will begin the journey of reprocessing garbage into useful items. And of course this is now where we have a stable food supply, we have a decent amount of water storage capacity and are able to go on bigger expeditions. So I will be cutting this footage as we go through, but let's see, we need to craft, so now we can craft a bigger backpack which allows us to store more items, and we can also build a tent. Now what the tent will do is it will reduce the amount that our dwellers' stats go up during an expedition into the wasteland. So having the tent and the bedroll are two great items to take with you, as is also the lockpicking set, but we don't have the items to be able to build it yet. But we will get a backpack made, because being able to store more items while you're on expedition into the wasteland is a fantastic idea and should be done as early as possible. Of course, you get leather from harvesting the animals that get trapped outside your shelter, and of course occasional encounters with wildlife as long as you're successful in the wasteland, as well as finding leather or trading leather throughout the game. Right, we've got 8 meat in there, so we're doing quite well. We've got 27 food overall. Our second little shelf of food is starting to fill up, so our pantry, and we're getting everyone sorted and ready for another expedition into the wasteland, because of course that is the only way to continuously improve our shelter. And of course people get frustrated if you don't actually leave the shelter for extended periods of time. So we will skip forwards in a moment, but we're just getting that shower repaired, and that's something else. We'll need to look to upgrade it as soon as we possibly can. We'll get some fuel added to the generator, and then we will broadcast for traders, and then I will start skipping forwards the footage to the important elements. So let's skip forwards. Okay, we can expand the shelter at the moment, but that's not what we're looking to do. What we're going to do is we're going to do some more decoration in the shelter, because I always find that having the paint cans and decorating is a worthwhile endeavour, just to make the shelter look a little bit nicer, and it does have an effect on the people in your shelter as well. So I think it does give a positive mood modifier the more it is looking nice. As you can see, I just used the remove graffiti element, so the remove existing paint on the wall, but we don't want to do that, because when you paint over, the graffiti disappears anyway. So in the earlier series that I done, I removed the graffiti and then painted the walls, when I should have actually just painted the walls. So let's get another expedition underway. We're going to use Alistair and Ian. And again, we have much more water now. We've got 120, so we should be able to go a bit further. We last visited this area 21 days ago, so let's go down to the question mark, so we actually find some buildings that we haven't necessarily uncovered yet. There we go, that looks good. How much water are we using? 58. Yeah, that's not too bad. Maybe go to... no, 58 is not bad. That's just under half of our water. So we'll send them out to those destinations. Again, equip a gas mask. We now have the backpack, so we'll equip a basic bag for Alistair, and Ian can have the bigger bag, and we've got the bedroll, but we haven't made the tent yet. We of course will also need to take some medical supplies. We've only got one med kit. We've got a few bandages, and we also have our adrenaline as well. So we'll equip a pipe, seeing as we don't actually have any other weapons yet. So again, med kit, a couple of bandages, and that adrenaline to improve strength. And we've got no other secondary items to add, so we will send them off on the expedition and skip forwards. Okay, we've got someone at the door, and it's Carl. He's strength 10. Okay, I think we're going to add this guy. That's not bad. Charisma 8. Agility 9, Intelligence 3, Perception 5. So yes, Carl is going to join our shelter. So in he comes. Welcome, Carl, to the family. You are the first person to join us other than our base set of 2 parents and 2 children. Again, vault maintenance or shelter maintenance is required, as well as the upgrades to output durability and resistance. But for now, we do just need to get them fixed because they're down to 50% integrity. So let's speed up time. Oh, we've got a broadcast coming in from the wasteland. Approach strangers or sneak away. Most of the time, when you're not ideally equipped with weapons and you haven't improved your strength and stuff yet, it's ideal to sneak away when you can, because you will occasionally get forced into combat situations. So we've got 7 meat in our freezer, so we don't want to harvest that deer yet, so he will be left outside for weeks on end, crying away until we decide to go and harvest him for his meat, leather and fat. I'm nice like that. Okay, 3 bags of coal, 75 hours of burn time, so we've got 3 days worth of coal. And that means our generator is not being used. The one thing I find quite interesting with the incinerator in this game is it doesn't matter how much power infrastructure you have, so devices that need power, the coal generator will always cover the cost of your energy, which is interesting. Okay, let's see what's in this medium house. Okay, we've got 2 people. Hey, how you doing? Great to see you. Hi, got some stuff for trade here. Okay, oh. A log and some anti-radiation tablets. Okay, this is one of those situations where we are actually going to cancel the trade because we can't cheese the charisma here, so just cancel the trade and carry on, because the person literally had nothing that we could exchange for the same value, because the radiation tablets are 40, the medkit's only 10, the bandages are 5, which is only 20, and the adrenaline is 80. So yeah, we couldn't actually do a trade. Right, good, we've got a couple of new masks, toy, fuel, wood, plastic, all very good. And we of course now have 24 slots thanks to our bigger bags as well. We could take that bucket as well. Okay, confirm. Now, because we still don't have the recycler, I left that TV behind. Oh, right, we've got Elizabeth here who wants to trade. Okay, what have we got? Okay, we got wool, we got switches, we've got plastic, and how many motors have we got? Let's have a look. Actually, we could trade that bag because we don't need it anymore. It's worth 24. That's not bad. So 24 out of 29. We've got 3 motors, so the question is, no, we'll leave those behind. Let's trade our garbage plastic. And that's a total of 4, so we're at 30 out of 29. How much is a motor? 3. No, that'll do. And complete trade and skip forwards. Okay, so what we found in this restaurant, so we've got some honey, some plastic, again food, which is always handy, a switch, a nail, we'll take that. Do we want the garlic? We could take the coffee beans. Don't know whether we want to take, I mean, there's meat as well, but we have meat in our freezer. We've got 7 in the freezer. Raw honey, probably worth taking because that can be used to make soap. Once you've got a workbench to make it, of course, which we will do later in the series, just not yet. Burnt clothes, that'll be good for the recycler because for that you get wool and nylon. And you can also carry quite a lot of them as well. Okay, we need to send Katya to bed. She is absolutely knackered after all of that broadcasting for traders. Oh, and the cat's hungry. Let's fill that food bowl for the cat. Can't let the cat starve. And then after you've filled the bowl, can we make the lock-picking set yet? Because the one thing we haven't got yet, and a bookshelf, we do need to get a bookshelf. But again, ideally, we want the lock-picking set. We need another hinge. Okay. Because all of those question marks in the locations that we go to, like houses and everything else, once you've got a lock picking set, you can open those, and they have normally a lot of gas masks, bullets, so ammunition, guns, food as well. There tends to be quite a lot of food in the lock boxes. Okay, so that is now our makeshift recycler put down, and we're going to get that built. So Carl's joined us, and we're now building the makeshift recycler, and I will just dump something into the recycler once it's made, just to show you. So we've skipped forwards again. On this episode is only about 17 minutes long, by the way, as well, so I've kept it nice and short, seeing as there's two major events. We've got a new person in the shelter, and we're building the makeshift recycler. Oh, this guy wants a fight. How about I keep my teeth where they are? So, walk. Okay, so this means this guy is way weaker than we are, so we could actually walk away from that fight without having a fight, which is quite good. Okay, perfect. So this recycling, this empty fuel container, will give us 1 plastic in the makeshift recycler. Now, obviously the recycling plant, which is tier 4, is much better. But just showing you a couple of items. So as you see, the light bulb gives you some metal and some wiring, which is extremely interesting, seeing how small a light bulb is, but hey, I'm not going to complain. So there we go, 28 seconds for that one item to recycle, and that will give us a piece of plastic which we can then collect from the recycler. Now Carl is fully a member of the team now, so we can turn off the automation. Let's take some more clothes. We'll take a book. We'll definitely take the rope because we've only got 7 at the moment. Batteries, we've got 14. Valves, we're definitely in the need of. Let's take one of the TVs because that can go into the recycling machine. We've already got a bucket, so we should really take the other one. Yeah, how many slots have we got left? 4. Okay, so we're at 20 out of 24, and I left a bucket behind. What a moron. What a mistake to make. It's only a bucket. But yes, that just shows you when you're not full of stuff on your travels, you need to pay attention to what you have already got, because lots of items stack. There's a few that don't, like a TV as an example, doesn't stack because it's a big item. Weapons don't stack, neither do items like grenades. Okay, so there we go, there's a question mark, which again is a lockbox that we can't open. Let's take some more paint because we haven't got a lot. And I do like decorating the shelter, so we've used 22 out of 24 slots on this expedition. Let's speed up time. Okay, we've got another one. Approach strangers or sneak away. Let's go for the sneak away option. As I said, if that can be done at the early game, it is worth doing, so that you don't get any unwanted combat encounters. Now, you can get good trade, but you know, it's a risk. At the end of the day, I mean, it's your choice. At the end of the day, you can go for every single encounter possible if you want, but don't come back to me when half your shelter residents end up dead at the beginning of the game, because it does happen. I've played this many times, especially on hard, when I've gone out into the wasteland and everyone's been killed, and it's like, oh, okay, I managed to get through 50 days. Now I'm gonna have to start again. Oh, fantastic. Right, we're good. We've got some rain on the outside, so our water supply is being topped up again. Where's his loyalty at? Quite low at the moment, I think. So he's not ready to join the fold yet. I said he was, he's not. Right, okay, so we've got grenades. We have got weapons, so shotgun. Again, just click on everything, and now we can't take a grenade, but is it worth potentially dropping off one of our items so that we can have a grenade? So do you remember that bucket that I forgot to take the second one? Doesn't really matter now because we got rid of it and we're taking a grenade. Did I get rid of the other thing there? Yes, I did, yes. Okay, so we now have a shotgun shell, a grenade, and a rifle shell. Now, the funny thing is, if we get a combat encounter now, you can actually use the grenade straight off the bat. So good stuff that we found in this barracks. We are at 24 out of 24. Again, it's deciding whether we can get rid of anything else to take that second grenade, or taking stuff that we have low resources of. We've only got 3 of those. See, again, everything we've got is fairly low, so we're still mitigating. But yeah, get rid of the book and we'll take the nylon because we do have a limited supply. Okay, and confirm. Okay, let's speed up time. We are approaching the end of this episode because after all, the makeshift recycler is now fully functional and Carl is progressing along nicely to join and become a fully fledged member of the team in our shelter. And later on, of course, we will get another resident as well as we expand our shelter. Oh my goodness gracious me, look at all the stuff that we've got here. Lots of good stuff. Pipes and metal would be good to take, as would the switches, of course. Okay, and there's wiring there as well. Right, we can take the nail, but again, I'm now deciding whether it's worth, and there's a baseball bat, but you need strength 8 for that. So again, can't take any of this stuff. Can take the nail, can take the battery, can't take anything else. Now the question is, the metal, would it have been worth ditching one item to take the metal? Maybe the paint. We've only got one, or the TV even, because that was just for the benefits of the recycling machine to take the metal, because the metal is a valuable resource. And again, the switches, probably worth as well. But this is your own decision when you're in the wasteland, and it's what makes the game interesting, is prioritising what resources when you get to locations when your storage capacity is fairly limited. So again, it's like the 2 pipes there are worth taking, so let's take the pipes and get rid of the paint. The switch, again, ideally I would have wanted to take, but I couldn't get rid of any other items because everything else was needed. So right, a small factory, let's search the location. Lovely stuff, speed up time. There we go. Now we get to examine the items. And again, what have we got in here? Well, we've got some more nails to add to the pile. We haven't got any coal yet. We can't take the paint. We can take that. Can't take anything else. Probably don't want to sacrifice anything else, but we could potentially sacrifice to take the scrap piles, because scrap piles are good recycling and they will give you hinges. Which is a good thing because we need it to make the lock picking set. And again, a nice large house. We'll search the location, speed up time, see what items we can get, and end the episode. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you very much for tuning in. Until next time, all it leaves me to say is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course from me, Know It All Gaming, good night, and see you on the next episode.